Hi friends, and welcome to this morning flow practice. Morning is my absolute favorite time to practice yoga because in the morning you're fresh, your mind is fresh and clear, and it's a great way to start your day so that you can move into the day feeling your absolute best. So we'll start out slow and stretchy to get into the body because it's morning and you're probably a little bit tighter, and then we will move into a little bit more of a rigorous practice. And it will be quick because a lot of the times we have limited time in the morning before we get on with our day. And so this practice is basically what I would do, what I do myself, and I'm giving that to you to help you feel the best you can in your body. So for today's practice, you don't need any equipment, you don't need any props, but if you have them, you might as well have them nearby just in case. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed this class at the end, give it a comment, give it a like, so that I can continue doing this and putting these videos out here for you to practice. All right, so we're going to start in child's pose. So bring your knees wide, your feet together, walk your hands forward, rest your head down to the ground. And take a big breath in through your nose and out of your mouth. Good. Walk your hands up slowly and come up into tabletop. Ground down through your left hand. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Wiggle your fingers. Inhale. Exhale, weave your right arm through to the left side. So you're thread the needle. Walk your left fingertips forward. And then over to the right just a little bit. You'll feel more of a stretch through the lats and all around the armpit, the inner arm. Soften your gaze. Your eyes are soft. The breath is long. Ground back down through your left hand. Reach your right arm up to the right, to the sky. And then bring the right hand behind the low back into a half bind. And we'll sit back onto our heels for Virasana. Keeping the right arm behind you, put the left hand over to the right side of your right leg and twist. So you're twisting to the right. And if it's uncomfortable to sit in Virasana, you can sit on a block or you can change positions, but we won't be here for too long. Now take your left hand, bring it over to the left side of your body, and the right arm, bring it up and over to the left for a side bend. So we did our twist, and now here's our side bend. And my tip to you in the morning, if you're ever stretching on your own or moving, doing yoga on your own, is to try to get in twists, side bends, forward folds, and back bends. So all the movements of the spine. So reach your arms up, inhale. And exhale, release your hands down and come into tabletop. Good. Plant down through your right hand and reach your left arm to the sky. Wiggle your fingers. Inhale. Exhale, weave your left arm through to the right side. Set your left shoulder down. Crawl your right fingertips forward. Maybe crawl your fingertips over to the left a little bit. Plant your right hand back down in front of your face. Scoop the left arm to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, put your left hand behind your back into a half bind. Sit back on your heels. Put your right hand over to the left side of your left leg and twist. One more breath. Bring your right hand down to the ground and take your left arm up and over to the right side. Bend to the right side. Big side bend. Good. Reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Let's come into table. Good. Walk your hands forward into puppy pose. Put your forehead on the ground. Keep your hips high over your knees. Make sure your hands are spread apart a couple inches. Good. And then start to slide back up into table. Let's take a couple rounds of cat-cows. Inhale, arch your back for cow. Exhale, round for cat. Good. Keep going like that at your own pace. If you want to add in some circles, feel free. Just move freely in your body. Good. Let's return now back to table. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees and your hips for down dog. And walk your feet up to your hands. We'll come back to down dog in a little bit. But I want to get a nice fold here. So take your feet as wide as the mat. Bend your knees a lot. Let your upper body hang. This always feels really good in the morning. Grab onto your elbows. Rock side to side. And just have no effort in the neck. Let the head hang heavy. Now release your hands to the ground. Bring your feet to hip distance. Lengthen your spine into a half lift. Keep your neck long by looking down at the front of the mat. And then fold forward. Let's do that again. Inhale, half lift. If you want to put your hands on your shins, you can. Exhale, fold forward. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, reach your arms all the way up. Hands to your heart. Exhale. Arms down by your sides. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Set your back knee onto the ground. Take a breath in and breath out. On your inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And on your exhale, release your hands back down to the ground. Lift your back knee up and step back into plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the ground. Good. Slide through to cobra. Do a baby cobra to start. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck your toes. See if you can press yourself either up to plank or table. If you're doing plank, engage your thighs. Press all the way up. Let's all meet in down dog. Breath in. Breath out. Lift your right leg up. Inhale. Bend your knee. Open your hip. Exhale. Straighten your right leg out. Inhale. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Fingertips on the ground, back knees lifted. Good. Set your back knee down on the ground and straighten out your right leg for half splits. Keep your spine nice and long. Tilt your pelvis forward. In other words, stick your butt back in space. Walk your hands forward if you want, or if you're a little tighter in the hamstrings, you might stay up here. You might even have your hands floating a little bit. It's okay. It's morning after all. Don't be hard on yourself. Good. Let's re-bend the knee, come back into lunge. Lift your back knee up and come into standing split. So lift your left leg up to the sky. Good. Now put your left foot behind your right foot for a braided fold. So your legs are crisscrossed and you're trying to get your toes aligned somewhat. And you'll feel this in the outer part of the left leg. Good. Let's uncross the legs. halfway lift, fold forward. Inhale, stand and reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, go right back down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Set your knee down on the ground and reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Take an extra breath here. Inhale. Exhale, let's step back to plank. Bring your knees down and your chest and chin. So I bring the knees forward a little bit so that way you can dive down, bring your chin down, your elbows point up, slide through to cobra, high or low. Lower back down to the ground. Tuck your toes, press up to plank or table. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, bend your knee, open your hip. Straighten the left leg out, square your hips. Inhale. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Set your back knee down. And straighten out your left leg. Keep the spine long, shoulders back. Pin the left hip back. Good, and then re-bend your knee back into lunge. Lift your back knee. Standing splits, lift your right leg up. Good, now bring the right foot behind the left foot. Crisscross your legs and fold. Uncross your legs, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Arms down by your sides. Bend your right knee, catch a hold of the inside of the foot behind you. Take your left arm up to the sky. Either stay here or kick up into dancer. Natarajasana. You want to make sure your right knee is in towards your left knee. You're not splaying open to the right. And a lot of people, they tend to lean far forward here. We want to try to go up more with the whole back. We're creating that arch. Good. Now we'll gently release, but keep your right leg lifted for a moment. And can you extend your right leg forward, hands on your hips for 3, 2, and on 1, we'll put the right foot behind us into pyramid. Right toes pointing to the right, hips square forward to the front of the mat, so your hip bones are pointing forward. Interlace the hands behind your back, open your chest, inhale. Exhale, fold over your left leg. If it's too much with the arms, just release your fingertips down. We're going to go there in a minute anyways. And now everybody put your fingertips down to the ground. And let's step the right foot back into low lunge. Set your knee back down to the ground. And reach your arms up. So we've been here before. Now we're going to frame the head with the arms. So grab onto your elbows or the wrists if the elbows aren't accessible. Squeeze your hips inwards towards the midline. Draw up and in with the belly. And then take a back bend. It's not going to feel huge. That's okay. Good. Reach your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart. Spine is long. And twist to your left. Hook your right elbow over your left thigh. And lift your back knee up. Good. Set your back knee down. Come back to center. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands down to the ground. Lift your back knee and step forward. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Arms down by your sides. Bend your left knee, grab onto the inside of the foot with the left hand from behind you. Reach your right arm up. Kick your foot into your hand to lift up into dancer. Gently release, put your hands to your hips, keep the left leg lifted, extend it out in front of you. For 3, 2, 1, take your foot back behind you into pyramid pose. Take your hands, interlace them to the opposite thumb on top. Inhale. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Make sure you're not locking out your right knee. Release your hands to the ground. Step your left foot further back into lunge and set your back knee down. Reach your arms up. Grab onto your elbows. Squeeze inwards and lift up away from the ground, your pelvis away from the earth, and take a back bend. You can always just take your arms straight up if grabbing onto the arms is too much. Reach your arms up, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale. Draw the low ribs in, twist to your right. Hook your left elbow over your right knee, palms together. Lift your back knee up off of the ground if you want. So you're in a nice strong twist. Press your left elbow into your right knee to lift you away from the ground. And then set your back knee down, come to center and reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, set your hands down onto the ground. Lift your back knee and step back to down dog. Good. Shift forward to plank. Lower your forearms down to the ground into forearm plank, palms flat. Hold here. And then walk your feet in for dolphin, closer to your hands. Knees are bent a little. If you want to, you can lift one leg to the sky. And then you can set that leg down and you can lift the other leg to the sky. And you can set that leg down, and then you can set your knees down. Take child's pose with your knees together and your arms by your sides. Set your forehead on the ground. You can rock your forehead side to side on the mat. Good. Now we'll come upright to sit in Virasana and then come all the way up, prepping for camel. Bring your hands behind you. Make sure your hips stay forward when you go back, and then you're not leaning back into your hips, okay? Elbows back, fingers point down, and start to lean back into camel. Now, if you want to, you can grab onto the heels and then push your hips forward again. Only if it feels okay for your body. Another breath here. And then we rise up and sit down onto the heels for a moment. Close your eyes. Good. And then let's transition now into a seat. So from our seat, we're going to bring our hands behind us and lift the legs up. Boat pose. Arms out wide. Open your chest, roll the shoulders back. Can you straighten the legs? If not, it's okay. Then we'll hold here in our boat. Now we're going to lower down halfway into a half boat. Hold for 10 seconds. We're building that core strength for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down to the ground. Good. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Just notice what big of a difference just a few minutes on your mat can make. Rather, how big of a difference it can make. Good. Now we will take the feet down to the ground, feet wide. Let the knees fall to the right side. So I'll say that again because people get confused here. Your feet are as wide as your mat, and both knees then fall to the right. Then place your right foot on top of your left knee. Take your arms overhead and grab onto your elbows, or just let your arms relax overhead. You might feel a stretch through your low back or through the front of your quad. Maybe you don't feel it at all, and that's okay. Can you just breathe here? Make it a meditation. Everything's constantly changing. We don't have to hold on so tight. Knowing that nothing is permanent can be really freeing. Take your foot off of your knee, bring your knees up, and drop them gently over to the left side, and put your left foot on top of your right knee. Every second, now this is crazy, but every second, 1 million of our cells die in our body, and then 1 million more are replenished. So our body is constantly changing. And it's something like every 7 years, you're an entirely new person. Literally, physically, you're an entirely new person with the amount of cells that have changed, died, and replenished within those years. Take your foot off of your knee, bring your knees up. Bring your feet together and knees wide. Place your hands on your belly. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Fill the belly. And out of your mouth, let go all the way out until you're completely empty of breath. There's nothing left. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Bring the knees up. Good. Happy baby. Grab onto the outer edges of your feet. Take your legs out to the sides. It's like you're trying to stamp your feet on the ceiling, and you can rock side to side. This is a great time if you have something else that you want to add to your practice. Before we take our final resting pose, you can add that in right now. If you want to pause the video and practice longer on your own, now that we've moved a little, maybe you're inspired to continue doing what feels right for you, you're welcome to. But otherwise, we're going to rest for just a couple minutes here in Savasana, so you're going to extend your legs long. Release your arms down and close your eyes. No rush, but get there when you get there. And I want you to just notice in your mind how often you get caught up in the stories, in the perpetual thinking and doing and spinning of the mind. And can you just let go? There's a saying that goes, if you let go a little, you'll have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you'll have a lot of peace. Relax. Let's begin to invite movement back into the body, into the fingers and toes. Stretch the arms overhead. And slowly make your way up to a seat. You can roll to one side or you can just gently press yourself up. Just move slow. No rush. When you get there, rest your hands on your knees and take a big breath in. Fill up the whole body, front and back of the chest. Exhale all the way out. Drop your shoulders down. Bring the palms together into prayer position at your heart. Thank yourself for showing up to your mat today, for giving yourself this time, for giving yourself this peace. And let's continue to bring that peace into our day and into our week. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste.